What's up, everybody? Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on Elite Dangerous. When we left off in the last episode, we actually had a fairly successful mission run, which is a little bit surprising, considering that missions don't tend to be crazy great. So we're going to check. We do have another planetary scan job in Musing from these guys. I think we're going to stick to missions for this episode, probably. Oh, I can't donate stuff because that's not money. Okay. And we got another set here. We'll take all of these. I'm not really even paying attention to the money. Okay. We can donate to the cause. 200,000. We'll make that back, though, so that's okay. That is a lot. Okay. And we got another donation. It looks like we got another one. Actually, one or two, but one of them we may... Oh, that's a boom data. Let's see. That is going to call, though. We're in Musing now. We have 3 that are all scan missions. We might want to wait and come back and do that and see if there's another one there. I don't know. It's only 40,000. We'll take it, I guess. We can always use it and see how that goes. So how did that do for our rep? Anything? The Federation rep doesn't seem to move all that quickly or that much, to be honest. So, and I'm sticking with the missions at the moment because they are the best source of, whatchamacallit, of rep, right? And thankfully, when I mentioned that in the last episode, reputation change. Oh, that's the mini faction. Okay. And then it's gonna want us to go to the scan point. Blah 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 blah. All right. What is this? Oh yeah. Okay, the terminal. Got it. So yeah, let's just set it to the star, and we will skedaddle. So yeah, I'm sticking with the missions because it's the best source of rep, and the higher rank you go, somebody pointed this out in the comments, which I agree with. I don't know that it's a direct one-to-one or not, but it does seem like the higher your rank is, the less and less and less bounty hunting seems to do. And I think that's because you're contributing the same amount of credits. Like, if you keep getting 200,000 credit bounties off of anacondas or whatever, you're getting the same amount of rep from those credits, even if your total required rep to level up or rank up is higher, you know. And I think I'm not positive. I've said this before that I'm not. I know I've played it for a long time, but I'm not actually like an elite guru or anything like that. I really just have played it a long time, but I play it very casually. I've never really been one of these people that, like, that's the game that I just play all the time. Actually, a lot of you are aware, other than recording episodes, I really haven't even been doing much off-camera to improve my rep and other things, so you can tell how much I'm actually playing the game outside of making videos. It's just one of those, you fall victim to having a lot of different games you like to play. That's really what if I was just a one-trick pony of, like, this is my one game, I'd probably be way further along than I am, but I'm not. Like, I play all kinds of stuff, both on my channel and off, like, my off time kind of thing as well. It occurs to me I don't actually want to fly into the star. I want the nav beacon. That kind of dawned on me all of a sudden. It's like, where are we going with this? So yeah, I was actually really glad, though. I was really happy when I made a comment about that in my last video. Like, sorry that it's, you know, we did the kind of real-time episode like a couple weeks ago when I had some personal stuff come up, and then, like, last episode I still did a lot of the same, like, mission and no real bounty hunting. And I was actually really glad to hear that quite a few people commented on, like, you know, it was fine, we didn't really care, you know. I'm just always so like phobic of people getting bored, you know, because Elite, other than playing with people and enjoying their company, which I guess can have the same effect in video watching YouTube area if you really enjoy the commentator, which if that's true, then thank you very much. But, you know, inherently, unless you're bounty hunting or something, it's not a very, how do I put it, active or exciting game. It's a lot of redundant or monotonous activities. It's like, it's not that it's a boring game, but if you don't have anybody that you're like talking to, or yeah, you're gonna spam the same thing. So 3B, there is a lot of scanning going on 3B, I'm just saying. Just pointing that out. So using 3B, which is conveniently marked with a mission thing. I am glad that they started doing that, where now there's mission markers and things like that. You don't have to... I mean, some would argue that's part of the sim, right? That you have to look through all of your files and things. It's not just marked for you. But, in truth, in the interest of convenience, I mean... That's the hard part, too, of, like, a simulator type of game, is when you try and make everything super realistic, you run the risk of it being like, well, I'm not a professional, this is not my career, so, you know, I don't feel like messing with it all. A good example of those is, like, the flight simulator games. Now, granted, those are designed to be simulators. They're designed to show you how that kind of stuff works, but... I remember as a kid and stuff, I would try and play those and things, and it was just like, I never went through flight school, I'm not actually a pilot, so I have no idea what I'm doing. And the same way with games like Elite that are a bit more sim than game. Now granted, it's hard to say that Elite is a sim when it's like super sci-fi futuristic space stuff that we can't actually do right now, so it's hard to say that's a simulator. But they generally try to make it fairly... I mean, they go off of, like, speeds and light seconds and distance, and they use the real map for a certain area of the galaxy and stuff. You know, like, they tried to keep it pretty realistic. I mean, the devs even were open about, they were open about, you know, like, stuff like frameshift drive and supercruise and light speed. You know, it's technically not something we have any idea how to do yet, as far as I know, and I'm speaking off of just what I read. Pretty much anything that I say in my videos goes off of it's something I read about or blah blah. I mean, rarely do I actually say anything super definitive, like, no, this is it. There's no debate on that. Most of the time, it's like, that's what I heard. Especially when it comes to, like, science and things. Y'all know me. I am fascinated by science. I'm fascinated by things like physics and chemistry and astronomics and all that. Is that how you say it? Astronomy, I guess, is probably astronomics. And case in point, you know, no self-respecting astronomer would say astronomics. Is that what I said? Yeah, I don't know that that's a word. It should be. If it's not, let's make it a word. It is now. But yeah, so I always like the concepts, but when it comes to the actual science and maths behind it, I mean, amateur at best and complete idiot at worst. Like, I mean, for any of you that have seen my Kerbal playthrough, y'all know how good I am at physics. Yeah. Ooh, I'm coming in a little bit steep, it looks like. I want to kind of throw my angle up a little bit. Wait, what? Since when? I was coming in at 0.7, or 0.07. Okay, that's... Don't know what happened there. I didn't even get my glide. Alright, let's see if we can get back out of here and do that again. I don't know what that was about. Oh, fiddlesticks. Frame systems on cooldown. Oh, okay. No, I'm still gonna need to go up higher. I still need my frameshift drive to get into orbital cruise again. I'm not going 72 kilometers at this speed, though. Screw that. I don't know what happened. Like, seriously, I genuinely don't know what went wrong there. I do that all the time. I mean, I thought I had it at 0.07. It was coming in at the same speed. I don't know what the deal was. It didn't like it, though. It wasn't happy about it. That's for sure. I'm genuinely confused by that. I really don't know what happened. Do I actually need to get into orbital cruise? Or not? Nope, there's my glide path. Oh, wait, no. Oh, crap, I'm probably... yeah, I'm, like, right over top of it now. Woo! Speaking of how to do things the wrong way... Woo! Again, speaking of how to do it the wrong way... yeah, basically, don't do what I just did. That's both times are the way how not to land on a planet. Neither of those would be the proper way. The first one, I genuinely don't know what went wrong. The second one, yeah, no, I was past where I was supposed to, and you shouldn't go straight down like I'm doing right now. At least not when you're trying to do an orbital glide and stuff. That's just not a good idea. Oh, come on, stop moving. You also don't want to go crashing into the floor either. That's also frowned upon. So yeah, this is an example of what not to do. Okay. Oh, we're not getting a whole lot of inertia dampening here, are we? Alright. Slow down, you're going too fast. I'm barely tapping the gas pedal, but you're going too fast. I mean, seriously, there's like going slow, and then there's like, you know, old granny landing speed. Which also should be a thing, right? Oh, and somebody was telling me... I think there is a way to change just the SRV controls. I don't know. I think that's what they were explaining. Wait, where? Yeah, I'm supposed to be going this way, right? And the other thing is, I think part of it, I'm not 100% sure, but I almost want to say that on the PS4 version, I was driving without the drive assist on, and I don't know if that had more to do with it than the controls, but it seemed like something about the default control scheme of it just seemed to work smoother. I was having a much easier time driving around with the default one, so at some point I gotta look into that. Again, refer back to how often I play this. That's a turret, that's a turret, not what I want. I don't see a red border, which is apparently also, according to comments, what I actually ran into before that made them hostile, was that I had a, some kind of border, like a keep out barrier kind of thing. Where this data point says public, I think it was a, like a private link or something like that. I don't really know. I think that's what they were saying, though. The other thing I need to get better at is actually writing down before I start recording and stuff of the usernames and stuff of people, so that I can actually give proper shoutouts to comments that I actually get useful tips from. Because that's not very nice, is it? To just be like, people were saying, it's like, that was me, that was me. You know, that's not cool. I should be better at that by now, and I'm just really not. I tend to like read through all of my comments and stuff, but I rarely actually write down and note so that when I'm filming I can actually give proper shoutouts to people. Really? Weird, thank you. Like, can I board, please? Okay. So that's that one done. Hopefully we'll have an easier time taking off than we did, landing. I butchered that landing. That was so bad. I don't know what this is about either. This like spammy thing it has going on. I'm not really sure what that's about. And I do... Oh, uh-oh. Hold on. Hold up. Why is this the only one that updated? You will receive your reward. Oh, hold up. Locate the point in Neosing. Target body is 3B. Is it a... Wait, is it a different... The data we... Huh. Hold up. You know what? Before we go, let's use our other SRV, because I have two. Why not use both? Now that I'm thinking about it, I think there was 2 terminals there, wasn't it? Another thing, maybe, I just noticed I did this twice. Both times I put in pips in my engines. I don't know if that has any effect on the driving traction or the sensitivity of anything, but that does... Nope, I'm still spinning. I just tend to spin out a lot when I'm using the R2, L2 buttons as my steering instead of like an analog stick or something. I don't know if it's because they're not pressure sensitive or what, but I seem to just spin, like, very, very easily, and I don't really know why. And that's what I meant, like, it's either the drive assist or the controls, because I wasn't doing much of that when I was playing on my PS4 version. I think there's a second data point here. Stop it! See, like that, why am I spinning out? I barely tapped anything. That's one. Oh, come on. You can't... You have shields. That's what gets me. I have shields, but, like, bumping into something takes damage. I don't get that. If I have shields, I should have shields. Ah, okay. Let's see if this update... I'm glad I didn't leave. Okay. Specialized legacy firmware, blah, 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 blah. Now, so all a bunch of random crap that I don't really need to read. And now this one's updated. You receive your reward. Okay. So, yeah, there was a second... Whoops. Wrong button. So there was a second, there was a second beacon thing. I'm glad we didn't leave. Holy crap. I would have just missed out. Whee! Oh, the engine also gives us a longer thrust level, too. Oh, well, that's nifty. Uh-oh. Wait, why did the module not functional? Increased his... Why can't I use thrusters while I'm next to the ship? Huh, that's something I didn't know. Apparently you cannot use vertical thrusters while you're around the ship. That's really weird. I don't know why. I mean, I guess it saves you from smashing into your ship, but still. I feel like I should be the judge of that. Whether or not I want to use my thruster to get back up into my cargo bay. I should be able to just clamp down on the thrusters and just fly up into my SRV hangar.
Landing gear retracted.
Whee! Straight up. Okay. Oh, right. There we go.
Frameshift drive charging. 4,
Okay.
2,
Now,
1.
when we get
Engage.
back here, let's set... Nope, not using 3B. Where is Gorbatko? There you are. Let's get ourselves lined up. Okay. So yeah, the other reason I was focused on missions and stuff and not trying to do a bunch of bounty hunting and things was another kind of time issue of time management. No, not so much time management, of just life stuff. So I'm actually, like a lot of you probably know, I film on Monday, sometimes Tuesday if I can't get it all done Monday, and then Friday. That's my 2 to 3 days for recording all of my episodes for the week. So, for those of you that may or may not be aware, I'm kind of figuring, this is kind of a blanket statement, so don't take it the wrong way, but I'm kind of figuring people that find Elite enjoyable probably know about this, but, so if you're watching this video, more than likely you already know. But Monday was the solar eclipse event thing. And so we had the family over, my grandparents came over and stuff like that. We were all, you know, doing that and seeing that. So I didn't end up doing my recording until later this afternoon, or Monday afternoon by the time you're watching this. And so, yeah, that pressed into time of, you know, how much time I had to do my recordings, where typically I would have all day to do some grind work and do some camera work and, you know, flip back and forth. This was more of a, you know, kind of just work with what you got kind of situation, which is fine, especially for an event like that. It didn't happen very often, at least for us stateside people. Apparently, according to something that I was reading, the total eclipses do actually happen, not like crazy rare, but a lot of times they're over, like overseas, and in like the U.S. we don't. I know I'm going to be getting my numbers wrong, so again, refer back to everything I say is stuff that I think I read or something, but I'm not good with astronomics. That's going to be a thing. I'm going to make it a thing. It'll become a word, just you watch. But yeah, so I don't know, but I've been told and read and stuff that the last U.S. total eclipse one that was visible was like 100 years ago or something like that. So it was kind of cool. And I mean, I like that kind of stuff. I enjoyed it. It was very interesting. I'm not one of those people that would have really cared about, like, there's some people that came from overseas and stuff to see it, and I mean, to each their own, that's cool. But me personally, I was like, it was cool, but I don't know that it would have been worth all that. So it was neat that it was just around us. So you're like, okay, cool. You know, it's something that's neat that's happening, and you know, you can go outside and look at it, kind of thing. So that was pretty cool, and it was really interesting too, as far as like how it actually is so drastically different from what you're used to seeing. But yeah, so anyways, the short version, I kind of figured the people that enjoy the Elite series and stuff are probably also people that would find that kind of stuff interesting, so I'm sure that's something you all were aware of and probably watched too if you're stateside or whatever, or even if, I don't know if you could have seen it from I don't think you could have because of the timing, if you weren't over in the States anywhere, which is probably why there was people from overseas coming to this one. But from everything that I read, it's more common for them to happen over and in other countries and stuff, and US doesn't. Usually we get like partial kind of things, but not full eclipses. So I think that's what really kind of set this one apart and made everybody kind of like, not like freak out, but okay, let's be honest, yeah, kind of freak out over it. There was some people that were kind of freaking out. And that's what I mean. It's like, it's cool if that's something you're really that.
Boarding permission granted.
Oh yes, that hasn't happened. That's why I paused and stopped talking. That hasn't happened to me in like 2 or 3 episodes of just first try getting boarding permit. Stupid bot code term. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, that's one of those, if that's your cup of tea, that's cool. And like I said, I find it all interesting and fascinating, but I'm not one of those that, like, I'm just gonna sit outside and stare at the sun all day. Why? You know, it's like, it's 2 circles moving around very, very slowly, you know. The total was cool. That part was neat, but the rest of it was like, that was kind of cool, but yeah, I mean, that was like the main event kind of thing. I actually felt really, really bad, though, because where we live, we got to see it, but my brother and his wife, they live, like, down the street. I'm talking, like, a literal... okay, if I'm being literal, I wouldn't say it's over a 5 to 10 minute drive. Like, literally. It's really, like, close by. They're, like, a couple subdivisions over kind of thing. They're really close. And I felt bad for them because they stayed home to watch it. And you're thinking, you're down the street. I mean, they can see, it's the sun. You can see the same thing. But somehow, by some weird coincidence of events, at our house, it was fine. At theirs, they got some kind of cloud right as the totality part happened, and they didn't actually get to see the total full eclipse. They only got to see the partial. And I felt really bad for him, because I was like, you know, his wife was really excited and everything, and it was like, you know, this is gonna be cool, and then not to actually get to see, like, the main attraction kind of thing is like, well, that sucks. But it was like, who would have thunk? You know, who would have thunk it? Because it was like, I can see if you're in another state, or if you're, like, in a place where it's not in the path, so you're not gonna get to see it. Like, I get all that. But to be, like, 5 minutes down the road, and then just a random cloud gets in the way, I was like, oh, dude, that sucks, you know. Ooh, we have a follow-on mission. Okay. Do I have... Oh, we got some donate missions, too. Let's go ahead and take care of those. I don't know if I actually made any money now, because they're like 125 and 200,000. But that should give us a lot of rep, so I guess that's cool. Do I have... Oh, they do have a commodities market. Nice. Okay, so what I want to do is get rid of whatever's in my cargo hold, these telemetry sensors, I guess. So that I can check to see what this delivery one actually... Okay, where did it go? There we go. Oh, it's in Wolf. It's 100 light years. I don't want to go that far. Okay. That's Wyreo. I don't want to go there. You don't have anything important for me. So yeah, I guess we'll go do our call one and get that out of the way. Did I restock? I think I restocked everything. Pretty sure. What is this? Oh, that was the encryption stuff or whatever from the terminal that we got.
Landing gear retracted.
Whee! I am probably one of the, like, scariest people for air traffic controllers to see landing at their port. Or taking off. I always just, like, point straight up and just launch and stuff. I don't do any of that, like, VTOL stuff or anything. I'm just, like, spin around, do a backflip, do a barrel roll. But yeah, so that kind of interfered. Well, I say interfered, but it was worth seeing. I just meant it interfered with my typical schedule of having a little bit more time to... Like, I could have done a few more missions for a half hour or something and then gone and done bounty hunting, whereas now it was like, well, now I'm kind of crunched to get everything done, so that's why I stuck with missions today. But I was glad to check. I usually check my comments for that series. Like, this is kind of an insight for any of you commenting on stuff. This is a little bit of insight on how I actually do my interaction process kind of thing. Once I get headed to Lebedev. So I typically haven't been doing a lot of responding via comments. I get comments, but I typically don't reply to them too much unless they're something fairly simple or urgent. Like if somebody's like, you know, hey, I'm having a problem with this, how do I fix it? And I happen to know the answer, I won't wait till like the next episode, I'll just reply to a comment. If it's some kind of like negative thing or something, you know, I try to kind of like, you know, hey, sorry you feel that way or something. I try and address those kinds of things that are either more important or urgent. But if they're typically like, this is what I think you should do, then I haven't been doing a lot of like, oh, okay, cool. I just kind of acknowledge them in the next episode. But typically how I've been reading my comments. Now this is one of those things that for those of you that have been commenting on old episodes, if you're not getting replies and you're not getting acknowledgement, this is probably why. I tend to go to my YouTube page and pull up the comments for the last video in that series, read them all before I then start recording my next episode in that series. Every now and again, I take the time to actually pull up my just full comments page. And for those of you that may not be aware, the way that actually changes is in YouTube, when you pull up your just comments page, it'll give you the most recent comments regardless of what video they were on. And sometimes you'll find personally, I've run into this where I find, oh, somebody was commenting on older videos and I wouldn't have noticed because I'm not checking those comments type of thing. I hope that makes sense. So if you've been commenting on older videos and things and I haven't been saying anything, it's probably because I haven't been checking my actual comments page and I'm just pulling up the last episode and reading the comments before I film my next one. Because that's how I typically do things. So I was going somewhere with that. Wait, wow, I really don't remember where I was going with that. I was talking about time and stuff and being kind of crunched. That's what I was saying, that, like, you know, I don't know how some of you may feel right now, but at least those that were commenting on my last video, you know, I was getting a lot of, like, no, it's cool, we don't mind, you know, I don't mind either way, whichever one, and I was like, sweet. So because today was a little bit crunched for time, I didn't feel as bad about trying to make it kind of a mission-focused episode type of thing. But, yeah. So, that's what that was about. But yeah, so, it was cool, and it was interesting and stuff, and it was definitely worth, you know, stepping outside of your back porch kind of thing to watch. Like, again, I mean, I know there's a lot of people that are big, astronomic buffs, because they do their astronomics. I am going to make that a thing. I'm gonna push it. It's gonna be a word. It probably is. I'm just not using it in the right context. But yeah, no, it's gonna be a thing. You watch. And if it's not, all the better. Like, then we're just really gonna hammer this home. Anyways, so yeah. But yeah, like I'm sure there was a lot of people that were really, really into it, kind of thing. As far as like that's, you know, some big life event. But like, I had to kind of laugh a little bit of some of the like newscast people that were talking about how, you know, some people, you know, like it was like the one anchor on Weather Channel or something was like, you know, it took my breath away, it brought tears to my eyes, it's such emotional, and I was like, I mean, if you feel that way about it, I can't really, like, I'm gonna get a bunch of comments that's like, I felt that way, you jerk, you know, it's like, I'm not like pointing fingers, I just don't quite get that. It was like, it was cool and it was interesting. I didn't personally think it was that life-altering like some people made it out to be, but again, I'm not really like, I didn't grow up with a telescope and stuff, like always wanting to be an astronaut or something. So, I mean, if you've really been that into space and science and all that kind of stuff, maybe it is something that would do that for you. I don't know. That's what I said, is it's like, don't take that the wrong way if you're one of those people that feel that way. I just thought it was a little, it just came, maybe it's because it's a news anchor. It's not some scientist that studied the stuff and knows how it works and how rare it is or whatever. It's like some random news anchor and you're like, really? You know, it was like, but no, it was cool though. It was really interesting. Particularly how the color and stuff changed. It was very orangey, for the most part, and then when it actually hit totality type of thing, it goes like almost a white around the black silhouette of the moon. It was really that was kind of interesting, and I didn't expect it to be that quick. That like it was kind of getting gradual and dim, you know, and it was starting to feel like an evening lighting, and then all of a sudden it was just like snap, and now it's like dark kind of thing, and that was a little unexpected. It was cool, but it was just, I didn't think it would switch gears that quick. So, in case you were wondering, I didn't take those missions because I don't really think I want to do those. We're up to 54, I think, on our rank. So, yeah, I think we're going to call it quits for this episode rather than getting started. I didn't see anything in there that really stood out as like, oh, I have to go do this. That's too good to pass up. All of them were like, yeah, they're okay, but that one's new, and it's a good one. But that involves another planetary landing, which takes time if I don't edit them out and stuff. So, yeah, they'd be worth it. I think they just updated, actually, because it gave me a different set of missions before. But I think we're going to call it for this episode. So we're going to wrap things up here. I hope y'all enjoyed. Hope you guys didn't mind all of my ranting and talking and not blowing things up and doing stuff. We'll probably do that. I hope we'll be able to get back to that next episode. The problem I run into is if I don't have time to do off-camera missions, the bounty hunting is not negating the decay of like, if I don't turn anything in, your rank starts to go down, or at least your reputation and stuff like that. So in order to combat the decay of not playing throughout the week and stuff, I have to do something that really boosts my my rank. And bounty hunting is like, it's not pulling away from the rank, but it's also not really adding to it. If I was doing it daily, it would probably add up better. But doing one session a week, it's not negating the decay rate, and so I'm either in the same spot or I'm lower than what I was. So I try to make sure when I'm doing bounty hunting that I've actually had a chance to do some missions in between, or before I start recording, and then when I record I'm just doing missions, and that's just for the fun of it, but I've already done kind of my personal mission things to do some more ranked stuff. So if I can pull that off, then hopefully next week we'll be able to switch back over and do some combat missions, I hope. But I'm glad that at least the people that commented on the last episode seemed to be okay either way. So that was a relief in a way, because I'm always afraid of people getting bored of just watching me go back and forth from two different systems and delivering missions, because I know I get bored just playing it. Like, if I'm not talking and filming and doing something, if I'm just watching the game or I'm just listening to music or something, it gets very tedious to do that repeatedly. So I'm always afraid that that'll become tedious for people to watch. So I'm glad when people are like, no, it's cool, it's fine, we still found it entertaining. Good, that's cool, because that's the best of both worlds. We get our rank improved and people are still happy. You can't see me, but I'm doing 2 thumbs up, so that's cool. And if not, you can let me know too. It's like, no, I hate missions, you should go blow stuff up. Well, hopefully next episode we'll be able to do that. But yeah, we're going to wrap things up here. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace.